We're in the latter half of the second group stage round of U19 competition, and the visitors are certainly in a better position overall. Certainly not in a perfect spot, but Dortmund currently sit in third place in the group that also includes their bitter rivals Schalke, as well as Wolfsburg, Augsburg, and Heidenheim. Dortmund has been much less consistent in the second group stage as compared to the first round, as they have already lost twice in 5 matches as compared to just once in the 12 matches in the previous round. And March is no exception. After thrashing Schalke, thanks to 3 goals from Fidju Tazameta, Dortmund was brought back to earth by Heidenheim as they gave up an early goal, then went up 3-1, only to allow for Heidenheim to come away with the point thanks to 3 goals from Tobias Weigl. Now, as for Holstein Kiel, they are last in the group, and it has not been a very fun time here in 2026 for this team. Just 1 win and 3 losses. Just 3 points in 4 matches for the home side, wearing their traditional blue and white uniforms here. Getting outscored by 12 goals in the first 4 matches here in 2026 as our referee gets us underway. Marvin Lepke blowing the whistle. We are underway, Dortmund and Kiel, here in U19 competition in the north of Germany. So with that, let's give you a quick look at the starting 11 for both sides, starting with Borussia Dortmund. Aaron Held starting in goal, wearing the number 1 once again. He's been involved in every single game in the Hauptrunde for Borussia Dortmund. And in front of him, Tim Degner, Romeo Ritter, Paul Tanyi, and Miguel Age. Along that back line, getting tested early with the high press coming from Holstein Kiel. And good spin move keeps possession for the black and yellow. In front of that back line, Enzo Duarte, Luca Van Horst, Tom Faust. And then up top they have Thierry Fidju Tazameta, Justin Hoy, and Fadi Zockelein. And as for the home team, Holstein Kiel, they put Konstantin Kaiser in goal for the second time here in the Hauptrunde. And then Felix Lüth, Leon Wieser, Len Kloppenberg, Maximilian Appelt, as well as Kevin Hahn, Henrik Westphal, and Mark Richter Monserrat in midfield. And up top, Yunus Zöllner from Hamburg, Kian Tak, the captain, and Fulton Mehmeti on the right wing for the men here at home. So like I said, not exactly a beautiful day for a football match, but it will certainly be nice for the players out there. Not too hot, not too cold. Certainly cold enough to make you want to get moving. And, well, in the game of football, of course, you need to keep moving no matter what. So Dortmund having no problem taking care of the early pressure from Holstein Kiel. And when Kiel has possession, they're actually really one of the worst teams in their group right now. Just 5 goals for them in 4 matches. In fact, one game they got outscored by 8 goals, 8-0. So when you're outscored in 90 minutes as compared to 360, certainly some things need to change and need to figure out what they're going to do, as they won't go into the knockout rounds in last place in the group, as the first attempt towards Kaiser is handled not with ease. Not the cleanest of saves, but a save nonetheless. No rebound for anybody in black and yellow to come and poach one in. Konstantin Kaiser still looking for his first clean sheet for Kiel. Actually spent quite a lot of time off the playing field. Had a broken fibula that kept him out for a very long period of time between September and February. So still trying to find his way onto the field. Dortmund also has had their struggles, very inconsistent here in the second round, still in a qualifying position as the long attempt, well, there was no chance that was going to come back down and make Kaiser worry about that shot. Long effort from Enzo Duarte. Not on target, but certainly he'll have plenty more chances. Dortmund, 9-time champions here at the U19 level. Already won 2 matches. Sitting in 3rd place with 7 points. As that's a brilliant pass into the 18 and stopped by the keeper. Where's the rebound going to go? It's still loose and pushed into the back of the net. A stunning start for Holstein Kiel here in the 6th minute. Yunus Zöllner with his 8th goal of the campaign, his first here in the Hauptrunde. And Kiel with the shocker here early on. Well, the back line for Dortmund certainly did not help out Aaron Held. Massive miscue there from Paul Tanyi. And then just nobody in black and yellow knew what to do, but Yunus Zöllner was right there. He had time to take a touch inside the 6 and set up his shots. And no one in black and yellow could stop Zöllner, and Kiel is on the front foot and on the board early here at home. So let's see how Dortmund responds. They did pretty well in response last week. After giving up an early goal, they would score 3 in the first half, but came away with just 1 point. But now they're in the 18. Just outside the 18, the shot gets deflected. The captain couldn't find his way through the forest. Second chance, this time from the cross. And the header was not on target, but Dortmund still on the move, still in the danger zone. Just outside the 18, the shot, and once again, that ball just takes off like a rocket off of a Dortmund foot. Went well above the protective fencing behind the goal. So someone's going to have to run through the trees to pick up that ball. I mean, this is the land of the Brothers Grimm, the fairy tales, as you know. So hopefully for the person unlucky enough to pick the short straw, well, maybe hopefully they won't turn into something from a fairy tale when they go into the forest. Meanwhile, back here in reality, ball goes behind the end line, and it will be a goal kick for the black and yellow. Kiel still hungry, still looking for more goals. Plenty of pressure, 5 in blue and white surrounding the 18 on that goal kick. Dortmund looking a little bit better this time, electing to go over the pressure. But one back by the blue and whites in the attacking half. Still with it just outside the 18. Into the 18 they go, and the shot goes just wide, but it was deflected wide, so we will have a corner for Holstein Kiel. Well, a fantastic start for this home team. trying to find some points, trying to find some stability. Ready to send it in, and here we go in the 10th minute, and punched away by Held, but still inside the penalty area. Finally pushed away by the defense, but still Kiel on the front foot. Well, just a little bit too far on that pass, and picked up and thrown in quickly by Dortmund. Taken away by Kiel, and it will go all the way to Aaron Held. Dortmund keeper already unable to claim a clean sheet here in under 10 minutes. Still has yet to have a shutout here in the Hauptrunde. And it looks like we won't need to call the brothers Grimm, as the person who had to get the shots wasn't turned into a frog, or, well, I mean, just count all the fairy tales that there are. I mean, you know, and he still has his thumbs. That's a real fairy tale, by the way, in Germany. You know, there is a real fairy tale where a child could not stop sucking his thumbs, and so they had him cut off. Yeah, welcome to Germany, and how's about a welcome to the big moments right here, chipped over the keeper. But the whistle would have waved off the goal, offside against Dortmund. But Dortmund certainly not doubting themselves here in this moment. Down by a goal, but not feeling sorry for themselves. Just over 10 minutes gone here in Kiel, a very back and forth match. And a goal kick is awarded to Dortmund. Launched forward, but not far enough. Just kept inside on the left by Appels, but just ran out of real estate for that cross. Bounce forward. And trying to go past the keeper, but just couldn't get the header over the top of Kaiser. But both these teams are flying back and forth down this pitch. Justin Hoy had the chance to be the hero for Dortmund, but this certainly won't be the last time we'll hear from the man from Poland. Van Horst. Now along the far side. Plenty more up top for Dortmund. Trying to keep this pressure up. Show a little salt and pepper towards Kaiser. Fiju Tazameta. Now over to the right. Gets it back. So no chances on the right side. Let's see if Dortmund can do anything on the left. Just outside the 18, cross lifted in, headed away by Kiel. And the fight for possession results in a whistle from the referee. Too much there coming from Paul Tanyi. You know, history is on Borussia Dortmund's side when it comes to matches against Holstein Kiel. They've yet to lose to the boys from the north here at the U19 level. Already faced off here in the Hauptrunde in Dortmund in the first match day. And that match ended Borussia Dortmund 3, Holstein Kiel 2. Von Holst getting the last-minute goal to keep all 3 points in the Ruhrgebiet. But we're not in the Ruhr area here today. Von Holst calling for everybody to move up. Let's see what he has cooking. On the near side now, Von Holst. Like to go to the far side now. Faust. Von Holst. Near the 18, goes for the left-footed shot, and it finds the back of the net. A very slow build-up for Dortmund, and just caught Kaiser napping. The left-footed finish from Von Holst, not even his strong foot. Just past the fingertips of Konstantin Kaiser. And we are back even Stevens at 1 goal apiece here in the 16th minutes. Von Holst's second goal of the Hauptrunde. His first one beat Kiel a few weeks ago, and this one ties it up at 1 goal apiece. So very, very back and forth game. The ball hardly ever staying still at midfield. Just a high octane match here in the north of Germany. Now Kiel forced to retreat, but the black and yellow bring their pressure. And taken away, here's a chance. A friend to the left side, and he pushes it in. Excellent finish there from Dortmund. And just like that, in barely 60 seconds, Dortmund puts 2 past Kaiser. And that is exactly why you have that high press. Taken away by Fidju Tazameta. And then pushed in with the left foot. It was 2-on-1. Kaiser, the lone man, back. And just not a chance for Holstein Kiel in the end. Some excellent work from the visitors. Could have certainly been staring at the ground after giving up such an early goal. But they have shown their mental toughness with 2 goals already. Barely 10 minutes after allowing that first goal. Fidju Tazameta getting around his defender. He wants to get involved again. He was the one who got the interception to set up the second goal. And the momentum is clearly in the favor of the black and yellow going into the penalty area one more time. Right along the end line, who's going to get it? And nobody there on that pass. But Kiel unable to get the clear. Ball picked up by Tanyi. Could have given it back to Held. But now the race is on the far side, and won by Kloppenberg for Holstein Kiel in the end. But he is absolutely frustrated. I I mean, the team speed of this Dortmund team is really something to behold here today. Running circles, both physically and mentally, here in the 19th minute. Another chance on the far side for Dortmund. Trying to go towards the corner of the 18. Now Fahnhorst kept along the ground. And the Kiel defense finally pushes the ball away from danger. But they're unable to build out of the back. They're just much more concerned about just keeping the ball away from goal. They're not thinking about tying this game up right now. It's much more about survival and limiting the damage. Almost found its way to Fahnhorst. And ball trickles out just a couple bounces too far in front of Enzo Duarte. So throw in upcoming for Holstein Kiel. And a tough challenge coming up from behind. Valton Mehmeti taking an extra knock when he went to the ground. But the foul was against Holstein Kiel's number 30. So insult to injury. But Dortmund unable to move in an attacking position. So Kiel really wants to try to slow things down at this point. I mean, Dortmund, it just feels like in these last few minutes that they basically figured out Kiel's game plan and just picked it out of their back pocket. And it's like, oh, you're going there? Well, we'll know exactly what to do when you make that move. Dortmund with plenty of firepower as they go into the 18 one more time, looking for Fiju Tazameta, but the whistle halts proceedings. Now the black and yellow flying all around in the attacking half. Kiel unable to keep possession past the halfway line. Once again, that tough pressure from Dortmund working out. But if there is one drawback to putting all that pressure up top, it does weigh on you, especially when you go to the second half. If you don't have stamina, you won't be able to really help out after the halftime break. So certainly the coach Felix Hirschnagel knows that. And certainly has plenty of options on the bench. Fiju Tazameta somehow winning possession, but taking the tumble. Now Kiel trying to go the other way, 4-on-4, just outside the 18. And Tanya making up for the miscue on the earlier goal, knowing exactly where that pass was going. As we've got a whistle from the head referee, just checking in on Fijitaza Meta. Slow getting back to his feet. Took a hard knock. That wasn't whistled by the ref. Now Zöllner gets it back. Beautiful pass, beautiful find, and the beautiful finish! Kiel finding their way back into this match, and we are tied up at 2 here in the 25th minute. Boy, that was just a sudden development. And Henrik Westphal suddenly found a chance against Held. And that's Westphal's second goal of the Hauptrunde. He now has the most goals for the boys in blue and whites here at this point in the season. Had the game winner in the last game and ties things up at 2. My goodness, a back and forth first half here in Kiel. Kiel getting the first goal, and then 2 quick ones from Dortmund in barely 60 seconds. And then 10 minutes later, Westphal ties it back up for Kiel in his 40th match at the U19 level. Fijitaza Meta finds his way into the box for Dortmund. His cross couldn't find a recipient on the other side, but recovered by the black and yellow. Another chance into the box and pushed away by Kiel once more. Van Horst stays on his feet but does draw the foul. But the black and yellows weren't too thrilled about that. They looked like they wanted to keep advantage going. So Muffin Lepka talks to the defender who pushed Van Horst in the back. And Zöllner, the guilty party this time. Lifted to the near corner flag. Degna. Now Tanyi. Van Horst. 5 surrounding Van Horst. It's a good idea to give it off to a friend, but a double team will push Dortmund back into their defensive half for the moment. So some high speed here in Kiel. Fijitaza Meta trying to find Tim Degna, but instead Kiel will force a throw-in. Rolled along on the ground, a chance right in front of the 18 for Dortmund. Brought down the shot, and it just carried a little bit too much in the end. Tom Faust just on the edge of the 18. Just put his foot about a centimeter too far underneath the ball. Some excellent work there for Dortmund, but just couldn't get the right shot in the end. But the pressure wins the ball back in the attacking half for Dortmund. Trying to spin it around and finds the back of the net. Thierry Fitchutaza-Meza showing off here in Kiel. Saw two defenders on him and said, oh, that's all you got? Well, I can take care of this. I can take care of business with my left foot. And that's his fourth goal of the Hauptrunde. Had 3 against Schalke. So he doesn't mind the big pressure situations. So everyone back in Dortmund certainly taking notice of the 18-year-old wearing number 17. That's his 8th goal overall on the year. 4th goal here in 2026. So Dortmund 3, Kiel 2 as we hit the half-hour mark. Plenty of goals, plenty of running, plenty of scoring on both sides. We'll see if Kiel can respond, but Dortmund is breaking through, trying to double their lead. On the far side near the 18, the shot on target, and it goes in again! What can't Dortmund do when they have possession? Well, they can pretty much do anything they want, putting up 4 goals in 30 minutes. Just making this look way, way too easy. Fadi Sarkalain getting involved on the score sheet this time. And a big discussion just outside the 18 for everyone in blue and white. Meanwhile, if you're wearing black and yellow, you're cruising back to the other side of the field, feeling like you're cruising on easy streets. Dortmund turning this game into a casual walk in the park. So back underway after the 6th goal here in the first half hour. So plenty to talk about here between these two coaches. But Hirschnagel, the coach of the Bees, certainly has to be the happier of the two. Meanwhile, Freddie Kaps, Kiel's head coach, just has to be beside himself. Cannot believe what's going on as the struggles for Kiel against Dortmund continue. I mean, they lost 3-2 just last month in Dortmund. And then in 2015 in the quarterfinals, Dortmund beat Kiel, beg your pardon, 4-0. Those are the only 2 times that these two teams faced off against one another at the U19 level. So even though they're up by 2, Dortmund certainly not sitting back, not even calling the bus driver. No need for a parking spot as Dortmund is still on the prowl looking for goal number 5. Still certainly Some question marks along Dortmund's back line, allowing 2 goals. But all will be forgiven if the scoreline stays like this. Into the 18 Kiel this time, and Held forced to go Superman to get the punch. But Kiel still bringing the pressure and winning the corner. This game is certainly, definitely not over yet. So everybody back for Dortmund on defense, as we have almost 10 minutes remaining here in the first half. Cross into the box, and Held pushes away that shot. That was going right past him, but put the paws out. And the easy catch will silence Holstein Kiel in front of nets. Well, that's why Held wears the number 1 for Borussia Dortmund. Just fantastic work from Held in the end against that corner and against the ensuing cross. Certainly, that is why he is the top goalkeeping talent in the youth levels for Dortmund. Playing in his 21st game this season. Still unable to have a clean sheet here in the Hauptrunde. But he didn't allow a goal in nearly the first 300 minutes in the season. Now Zona looking for goal number 2 for him, and Kiel's 3rd goal. Now into the box, first chance pushed back by Dortmund. But Kiel still on the offensive front. And the cross goes just beyond the far post. So Kiel knows exactly what they want to do when they work quickly. Dortmund doesn't seem like they would be able to catch up when they're on defense. But that press from Kiel has not been as effective as Dortmund's. As Dortmund has yet to really allow themselves to be tricked into a tough turnover. Meanwhile, Dortmund got their 2nd goal thanks to that high line. And a quick interception turned into the back of the net. Kept along the ground, lovely piece of passing, but the referees ruled that it was an offside position. Dortmund playing quite aggressively, still with a 2-goal lead. I mean, no matter what this score line turns out to be, after 45 minutes, there will be plenty to talk about. For both Felix Hirschnagel and Freddie Caps. Respective coaches of Dortmund and Kiel. Zarkelen trying to work against Montserrat. Tried to go and find some space along the end line, but does get a corner out of his work there. So everybody moving up for Dortmund. Plenty of players in black and yellow for this upcoming corner. Some hanging out in the 6, some just outside the 18. Looks like Dortmund might be anticipating the cross to go towards that far post. Fired in, right in front, and bounced in the air, not towards the target though. But still, Dortmund coming down with possession. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. And Dortmund is looking for goal number 5. Now, in a normal game, that might be enough to cement a team's fate. But Kiel has certainly been able to provide some stingers. Taken away by Degna, but taken right back by the blue and white. Kaiser forced to move it forward quickly. And here goes Kiel, an on-man situation, 3-on-4. Now midfielder coming back, Van Horst at the top of the box. And Van Horst and a friend keep that shot out of the 18. Far away from Ehrenheld. And a whistle will stop proceedings with just under 4 minutes remaining. Van Horst putting his hands on his knees. It's been a very, very physically demanding first half for both sides. Not so much a mental game, much more physical, as both teams have been sprinting up and down the field. Long ball going towards the corner, but just too far for Fidju Tazameta. Already just so much coming from number 17 for Dortmund. A goal and an assist. But now for Dortmund, what they need to figure out is how they're going to keep this lead. They scored 3 goals in the first half last week against Heidenheim, but allowed them to come back and get the draw as the shots didn't have a lot of power, no pace, and no direction on target. But Mehmeti does get some rounds of applause for his efforts. So that will be the big question mark as we go to the second half. Will Dortmund keep their lead? Will Dortmund be able to finish this game out and keep all 3 points and take them back south? Or will the second half head south for the BVB? Final 90 seconds now underway here in the first. moving out of the center circle. Now Dortmund, one last chance at a 5th goal here in the first half. Until that clearance pushes the ball far, far away from goal. And out of bounds right in front of the Dortmund bench as they win the throw-in. Some pressure showing from Kiel. Now Zollner trying to get in front of Held. Dortmund going around the pressure. Lovely find to Fiju Tazameta. Still on his feet, tries to chip the keeper. And second chance in front of goal. Nobody was there, just couldn't turn it towards goal. Now Faust. The 45 minutes are up. We have 3 minutes of stoppage time for Dortmund. And just couldn't turn it on target, just couldn't tuck it inside that far post. Tom Faust had the chance, but he was falling as he took his shots. And all that momentum going to the left just dragged the ball off beyond the far post. Kiel trying to cut the deficit now. Zollner in a one-on-one situation going towards the end line and doesn't get the deflection that he wanted. So 4 just outside of the 18 for Kiel. A goal here in the final 2 minutes would certainly change the halftime speech from both coaches, no matter who scores it. Brought down by Kiel just outside the 18 and taken away by Dortmund, Romeo Ritter. Battle for possession near the center circle. And foul right in front of Muffin Lepka. And Lepka needs to come over and talk with Enzo Duarte. Looks like he's telling Duarte that you're running out of freebies. That's his last warning, potentially, as Zollner gets moving off the free kick into the 18. Spun away. Trying to go on the far side this time. And a small shirt tug is enough for a foul and a free kick. So into the final minute of added time here in the first half. Kiel looking for goal number 3, looking to cut this deficit in half. Great location for the free kick for Kiel. A little too far for a direct shot. And that is exactly why that was too far for a direct shot. Little over 20 meters away. Just a little bit too far for good shots when you're at this age. But give it a couple more years and you can certainly take the shots from there. But we'll have to wait until the second half to see if Holstein Kiel can cut into this deficit any further, as Dortmund puts 4 on the board here in Kiel. Halfway to a massive victory that would keep them in position to go to the knockout rounds, as Holstein Kiel thought they had a great start, but it got washed away as the first half progressed. After 45 minutes, Borussia Dortmund 4, Holstein Kiel 2.
das Spiel. Geile Stadt. Wow. Manchen Gladbach auch nicht so lang. Aber doch Duisburg. Schöne Mitarbeiter als Festbade. Also auch hauptsächlich der ja, was die noch? Ehrlich? Ey, das ist zusammen jetzt? Also quasi schon. Wie heißt die? Das ist das einzige Braun, genau so. Komm, weiter, weiter, weiter. Also, nur die nächsten Wochen immer jedes Wochenende. Beide Kinder aneinander weg. Davon ist es halt so groß sein. Ich werde halt die Woche dann nach Urlaub und halt so groß sein, wenn du willst.
So after 45 minutes, Borussia Dortmund putting up one of their best offensive outputs of the year already, tying the most number of goals that they have in any game here in the 2025-26 campaign here in the first 45 minutes in Kiel. So that forced Kiel's coach Freddy Kaps to make some changes here as we go into the second half. Truno Willari and Visa coming on here in the second half. So some of the biggest names to go up to the top of the pitch for the boys in blue and white. Taruna Wally having plenty of experience here in Kiel, playing now in his 17th match at the U19 level. Already with 3 goals and was involved in the game-winning assist in the last game for Holstein Kiel. So Kiel getting the first goal through Yunus Zöllner way back in the 6th minute. And then Dortmund just put the pedal to the metal. Goals coming from Farnhorst, Hoy, Zarklein, and Fidju Tazameta. There was a slight rebuttal from Henrik Westphal. Had the game winner in the last game to tie it up at 2. But 2 more goals from Dortmund has them doubling up Kiel here in the second half. Throw in upcoming. So Kloppenberg going to go for the long throw here. Just a skip and a throw into the 18, and the opportunity there just fell right to Felix Lutz. But Lutz was not quite on target with the left foot. Not a bad idea, just needed some better execution in the end. So 1 more goal from Dortmund. If they can manage to get another goal, that will be the most goals that they will have scored this year. They've scored 4 goals a few times before. They did it in the first round of the Juniors Cup against Aachen, winning that one 4-0. Did it in Gelsenkirchen against Schalke, winning 4-1. And then they did it 3 times in the Vorrunde. Did it against Schott twice, winning 4-0 both times, and beating FSV Frankfurt 4-0 in Dortmund back in August. So Dortmund not afraid to go on the aggressive front when they have possession. And that's true no matter the scoreline. Dortmund on the far side now into the 18, looking for goal number 5, and pushed in front, and Konstantin Kaiser cuts in front of the cross. Trying to go over the top of Dortmund with the long boot, and it's certainly effective, getting into the 18. Chance for Zöllner, falls to the ground, no penalty given. And Zöllner getting back to his feet and making certain the game recognized game. No need for a penalty in the end. as Dortmund gets to work on the other side of the pitch. Trickled over to Zarkalain. Zarkalain trying to cut to try to find some space for a shot, giving it off in the attempt just inside the line. It was a bit too high. Justin Hoy looking for goal number 2. So pretty much back to the same kind of play that we saw in the first half. Both teams having no trouble finding their way into an attacking position. But Dortmund getting the majority of those opportunities as Zarkalain tries to find a chance for a cross, leaves it towards the end line, and that is an offsides call. So already 5 minutes into the second half, and both teams just sprinting at the goal. And a trip up near the defensive 18 for Dortmund forces the referee, Malfin Lepka, to bring play back. You know, for those of you unfamiliar with German geography, you might be wondering where in the heck Kiel might be. It's right along the Baltic Sea. In fact, one of the largest and most important harbors for Germany. And it's about, I'd give it about an hour's drive to the north of Hamburg. And has plenty of history when it comes to sports, especially in the Olympics. Was involved in both the 1936 Berlin and 1972 Munich Olympics. Yes, we know how those aren't exactly remembered too fondly for very different reasons. Don't need to get into that. But Kiel was the host of the sailing competitions for both of those Olympic Games. It was also the birthplace of 1992 Olympic champion high jumper Heike Henkel, as well as the 1990 World Cup winner from West Germany, Andreas Köpke, who also served as the goalkeeping coach for Germany between 2004 and 2021. So he won one as a player and then won one as a coach. And certainly you'll have to imagine that Germany is really thinking about those chances for this year's World Cup in North America. After what happened in Euro 2024, there's certainly more buzz going into this World Cup than in more recent international competitions. But still relatively lukewarm compared to where they were about 10 years ago, as the cross from Zarkalain collects it, and the shot is deflected as Len Kloppenberg helped out on defense as Kaiser was unable to help out, trying to collect the cross. Kiel on the other side. Kloppenberg getting involved on the other side of the pitch. Now Westphal along the ground, and finally pushed away by Dortmund. So Kloppenberg has no problem going from box to box as he is on the ball again. Wanted to get the hook up along the near side. Could have had a chance at a slightly better cross. And the whistle will stop play there before Felix Lutz could get on the ball. And he has a few words to say to Malfin Lepka. Zarkalain getting past Kloppenberg. but unable to get past Montserrat. Knocked around, and finally Kiel bringing possession until it's knocked back to their defensive 18. And not sure where that pass was supposed to go. Kiel having a lot of difficulty trying to move out of their defensive half, as Dortmund has certainly made life difficult. Faust. Trying to find the link up, trying to move forward. Instead, the Kiel midfielders keeping Faust in check and forcing the black and yellow back into their defensive half. Trying to go 1-2 too many times, but Zarkelen gets it back in the center circle. Kiel winning it back after the interception. Now Kloppenberg. Keeping it inside the lines. Good chance now for Torno Villari, and he takes a tumble just outside the 18. Whistle not coming from Repka. And the substitute is just very unhappy about that. Did all the right moves, but Dortmund's defense doing just enough to keep Torno Villari from getting any chance to throw some salt and pepper at Ehrenheld. Take away by Kloppenberg. Now Montserrat. Kiel certainly trying to emulate what Dortmund has been able to do with the high line, but not as much pressure, nowhere near as much pressure as Dortmund brings. So it's really just more of them standing in the right spot, but not able to really get in their faces, get in their heads, get in their minds. And that right there is one of the reasons why Dortmund has looked much more confident as compared to Kiel. Dortmund doesn't mind getting forced back every now and then, as some extra frustration shows from Felix Lutz. So Lutz guilty of the foul. And a giveaway, another one from Kiel. Throw in for Dortmund. Staying with the black and yellow until that last touch. One back by Dortmund, however, still on the attack. Zarkelen gets it back off the 1-2, and not the greatest of shots off his right foot. That is his strong foot, but just got too much grass in the end. And a takeaway by Kiel at the halfway line. Still staying on his feet, Zellner. Zellner tries the left-footed shot, and it goes right at Aaron Held. Just got low enough to the ground that it didn't sneak through his legs. Take a look at this one more time. Forced to go from an odd angle. And Held playing very properly. And the referee, Lepka, shows the yellow card aloft. Yellow card for Maximilian Appelt, as Dortmund was trying to find another chance at goal number 5. So that is Appelt's 3rd yellow card here in the Hauptrunde. Still Dortmund doubling up Kiel here on the road. That chance, oh, that was a nice stop there from Konstantin Kaiser. Got stretched out fully, but put his hand in the right spots. Some shades of Köpke, making that look much more routine than it really was. But Dortmund's still on the attack with this upcoming corner. Faust sends it towards the near post and popped away by Kiel for the moment. And recovered by Dortmund in the attacking half, but the ball will go all the way back to Held. So things seem to be slowing down slightly here in the second half. Zarkelen staying on his feet, weaving his way through the blue trees. And Justin Hoy just couldn't find his way past that last line. So Dortmund will have to regroup in their defensive half. So if this score line holds, Dortmund will keep all 3 points and take them with them back to Dortmund. And they will have 10 points. Now awaiting the other results from around the group. It could put them at the top of the table if Dortmund can keep this score line. Currently, Wolfsburg is on top with 9 points, but a plus 15 goal differential. Right behind them, Heidenheim with 8 points. Brought down by Kiel, and the shot is stopped by Held. Another big stop from Dortmund's number 1 as Montserrat got loose. And a whistle will stop play as Tim Degner took a tumble, and with that whistle, Lepka allows for Dortmund to put on a couple of substitutions. So first substitutions of the day for Dortmund. So bringing up a player from the U17 in Niklas Goldberg. He'll be wearing number 19. And Till Burkhardt has come on to the pitch now. No goals still here in the second half. Certainly not for a lack of trying by either side, though. But with the Dortmund substitutions, that could certainly change with some fresh legs out there. Burkhardt getting involved now in his 5th Hauptrunde match as Zöllner tried to go for the header. His defenders let him do it as Zöllner just couldn't turn the ball on targets. Zöllner has had a pretty decent campaign with Kiel overall in his career. 26 games at the U17 level, 10 goals, 7 assists. And here at the U19 level, now playing in his 39th game, scoring his 12th goal back in the first half. And 10 assists here at the U19 level. And Montserrat draws the free kick at the halfway line. Zöllner gets pushed down from behind, but Repka keeps the whistle in his pockets. And Zöllner doesn't appreciate the silence from the referee. Wondering where his whistle was. Burkhardt. Now on the far side, Zöllner left all alone. Nifty moves showing from the Dortmund players at midfield, and the chance skips past the keeper and off the post. Just a hair away from Dortmund's 5th goal, but the woodwork saves Kiel in the end. But some of the fatigue now starting to show on the outfield players for Kiel. As you see 3 players before this upcoming corner putting their hands on their knees. Needing some more time to catch their breath as Faust is ready to go on the near side for the corner. The in-swinger knocked around. Who's going to get it? It will be a Dortmund goal. Goal number 5 for Dortmund. The offensive output does not have an off switch here in the second half. Romeo Ritter with the goal puts Dortmund up by 3. Even with 2 players helping out the goalkeeper along the line, there was just no chance for anybody to keep that shot out of the back of the nets. Leon Wiese was the closest player there for Kiel, but that just scooted right past him, and Ritter rips it into the back of the nets. Second goal of this Hauptrunde campaign, and those rumors that he's associated with Arsenal and Milan certainly getting ever louder now. He's under contract until 2028. But Zöllner tries to find his way through the forest and runs right into 3 Dortmund trees. And the cross is deflected behind the end line. Kiel trying to find their way on the front heel, but life just keeps getting more and more difficult here at home. Corner kick upcoming from Kevin Hahn. Low cross and deflected back, still with The boys in blue, in comes the cross again. Second chance, no dice. And a handball against Kiel will just cut down the offense. Wait, no, it's actually a penalty. I beg your pardon. I thought it was a handball against Kiel. Instead, it's a handball against Dortmund. So change that. So that puts Maximilian Appelt 11 meters away from Aaron Held. So a massive moment here for Kiel. Just the second time they've taken a penalty here in the 25-26 campaign. Appelt steps up and delivers. Smashing it past Held. And anything Dortmund can do, Kiel can do as well. As Maximilian Appelt slammed that right past Held. Nothing silly from Appelt, no weird step-ups, just a pulverizing shot. Knew exactly where he wanted to put it, and bullseye into the back of the net makes it 5-3. And with that Kiel goal, looks like Dortmund's going to send out 3 substitutions here. So Majubi will head on for Degena. And König and Hagemann also coming out for Dortmund. So a lot of movement along that Dortmund bench. Now everybody coming out to take part as Kiel looks like they're going to send out a couple substitutions of their own. Zona, one of the goal scorers, heads off, as does Montserrat. So everybody from Dortmund, all the outfield substitutions that Dortmund had, they have just used. And as for Kiel, they put out Brent onto the pitch. So Kiel looking for 2 more goals here, as we have less than 17 minutes remaining. Kiel needing to find that extra gear. They did get the penalty just a few moments ago. The other substitute coming out for Kiel is Kevin Kortum, playing his 5th match here in the Hauptrunde. 42nd match overall at the U19 level. Brent trying to get things going off the bench and just couldn't find his man on the other side of the rainbow. Throw in one by Borussia Dortmund. Having their best offensive output of the season. But certainly not out of the woods yet. Can't allow any more penalties. Can't allow for any more silliness when they're on the back heel. And Held picks up The ball just outside the end line. Turnuvolari towards the ball as Fiju Tazameta was a little bit too rough trying to win the ball. So 15 minutes remaining. Kiel down by 2 goals. And a yellow card is shown against Fiju Tazameta. So he's got a goal, got an assist, and now a yellow card, so plenty of attention from Muffin Lepka. Didn't get out of the way of that free kick in time, just taking it too nice and easy. So can Kiel manage to get 2 more goals here in the final quarter of an hour? Kloppenberg gets us back underway, all the way back to Appelt. Appelt, formerly a member of the Union Berlin and Energie Cottbus youth squads. Knocked around, and the game of ping pong still underway. And finally finished off Holstein Kiel with possession just outside the 18, a chance, and bouncing in front of the goal and near the end line, and it will be a goal kick for Borussia Dortmund in the end. Delf Berndt, excuse me. Almost there on the end of that pass. But expect Kiel now to bring much more pressure up top. And working out here for the boys in blue. Tried to spin around on top of the ball, and not a good idea in the end for Visa, but still Kiel with possession. So the retreat allows for Dortmund to bring that highly successful pressure. Push back to Held. Excuse me, Kaiser. Beg your pardon. And a throw-in upcoming for the home team. No time to dilly-daddle. If you're wearing blue, just kept along the line. Very good pass. Didn't find the target in the end, but did get a throw-in. Berndt very much involved after getting put into the match. Kloppenberg. Unable to ski around his defenders. Meanwhile, Dortmund running out of real estate on the near side. But they'll take their time on this upcoming throw-in. Faust getting us back underway. Berndt with some great work. Trying to do everything right, but Dortmund just that split second faster, split second quicker, and stronger. And a whistle will give Dortmund the free kick in the attacking third. Enzo Duarte doing everything he could while laying on his stomach. And he does win the free kick. That will take another 10, 20 seconds off the clock as well. So 2-man wall upcoming for Kiel. Just outside the edge of the 18. 2 on the ball for Dortmund. Now Faust tries with the right foot and easily cut out by the defense. Still Dortmund trying to get some work, trying to find Romeo Ritza, but unable to keep the ball inside the lines. So Kiel gets possession near that corner flag. A very long way to go for Kiel if they want to get a goal and if they want to get a point. Down by 2 with less than 10 minutes to go, but this could certainly help here. Falling in the box. But Muffin Lepka does not call a penalty in that situation. Nasma Jubi showing off the good work. Nice touch there from Fijiu Tazameta. Tries to smash it with the left foot, but too far off to the side for that to really trouble Kaiser. And we have a whistle. It looks like Dortmund is ready to throw on another substitution. Well, I guess that Hagemann didn't come on earlier, but he is coming on now here in the 82nd minute. Dortmund only has 5 players, 5 outfield players on the bench for this match. Kiel with 6. And Hagemann comes on to the field now for the first time today. Not taking over for Fijiu Tazameta, who is still out there. You see him on the other side of the 18 from Hagemann. Hagemann spending a bit more time with the U17s as compared to the U19s here in the 25-26 season. Playing with the U17s 15 times, scoring thrice. Yet to score or be involved with a goal here at the U19 level. Now appearing for the 6th time. And a superb tackle from Majubi. Continuing to frustrate Kiel as they give the ball back to the black and yellow. The shot goes right at Kaiser. A very easy catch in the end for Kiel's number 34. But if you're wearing blue, you don't want to be thinking about Kaiser. You don't want to think about that at all. You need to go the other way. But anytime they try, Dortmund has just swooped right in and taken the ball away. Still Dortmund 5, Kiel 3. And he's onside here. Chance for Dortmund to make it 6-3. But the pass just couldn't find its way to Hagemann going behind the end line. And Kaiser quickly calling for another ball. So still a 2-goal difference as we have 6 minutes remaining here in the north of Germany. Chance for Kortum. Kortum along the ground. Play on, says the referee. Kortum getting the ball back inside the 18, now having to retreat. 2 Dortmund players on him, and the extra defender helps out in the end. Just great work by the black and yellow. Now along the ground. Still with Dortmund, Fijiu Tazameta! And he finds the back of the net. And that right there is the final nail in the coffin in this match for sure. Well, Kiel held on as long as they could, tried and tried and tried as they might. But Dortmund has just been too much for the boys in blue. Dortmund cruising here in Kiel. 4 goals in the first half, 2 goals here in the second. And reality certainly sinking in now for Kiel. Are 3 goals physically possible? Sure. Realistic? Not quite. But don't tell that to them out there right now. The clock hasn't struck 90 yet. So anything can still happen for sure. But time is certainly on Dortmund's side. And Aaron Held and this Dortmund team knows that. Taking a few extra seconds off the clock just to make certain he gets the ball exactly where he wants to put it. And he's taking as much time as Repka will allow him to take. Hagemann. Defender slips but still manages to get the ball away from danger. Chested down by Helton, picked up before Turunovolari could put any pressure on Held. So another wild affair here at the U19 level. Dortmund should certainly feel very proud of themselves, as the big question coming into the second half was, could they keep that lead? And they certainly could, and in fact they have improved on it. Scoring 4 times in the first half, Kiel twice. Dortmund still finding the finishing touch, while Kiel could only manage a goal from the penalty spots. And Dortmund going on the attack once more into the penalty area. 3 available for Dortmund in the 18. And still not out of danger yet. But they do get it away for a temporary breather. Two minutes left here in Kiel. And Majubi will have to wait as Lipka comes over to check on the injured Kiel player back near the halfway line. That is the substitute Tilvisa, who needs some extra looks from the trainer. And that has been really the only time that the pace of play has been able to slow down, when someone goes down with an injury, heavy or not. So everybody just keeping an eye on Visa. Taking another precious 60 seconds off the clock for Kiel. So Visa gets back to his feet, walks off under his own power. Just needing some extra help from the medic. So he will go off the pitch for the moment. And Rika tells us everybody to get back underway, back to business. Visa comes back and checks in. So the full 90 minutes are up. Here in the north of Germany, 4 minutes are added on to the final 90 minutes. So plenty of offense on display from Dortmund over these last few weeks. Putting up 4 goals against Schalke, 3 against Heidenheim, and 6 here on the road in Kiel. Certainly some questions along the back line for Dortmund. They don't have to worry about that at this exact moment, but certainly Felix Hirschnagel will be talking about it with his team over the next week. So after this match, Dortmund heads back home to face off against Wolfsburg. And they will do that actually in 15 days. Has a chance for Kiel. Lifted over to the far post and stopped by the last defender. Still Kiel trying to find something. Trying to find one last goal here in the dying moments of the second half. So meanwhile for Kiel, unless they can pull 3 rabbits out of the hat, out of 3 different hats, they're about to go down and let Dortmund walk away with all 3 points. So they're actually going to stay here at home, Kiel, as they're going to play against Schalke in 8 days, as they were supposed to play back in match day 2, but it was postponed. So Schalke also in need of some points and in some need of something positive in their minds after losing to those bitter rivals, wearing the black and yellow on your screen. And then right after that, they're actually going to go to Gelsenkirchen. So 2 straight weeks of seeing the Royal Blues so a lovely result here for Dortmund as we hit the final minute of stoppage time. Could we have a 7th goal perhaps? As Piju Tazameta can't find the target, lifted towards the far post, and that was a very tantalizing ball towards Till Burkhardt. Final 30 seconds ticking away. But Kortum sprinting into the 18 on the other side and forces the defense to get on their high horse, and Romeo Ritta is pumped up after that slide tackle. Still very good to see that they are working their butts off, as that is the final moment of the match, as Marvin Lepke blows the whistle for the final time. Dortmund unstoppable here in northern Germany, beating Holstein Kiel by a total of 6 goals to 3 in this offensive affair. It was Borussia Dortmund that had plenty more flair here in the north of the country. So 6 goals for the black and yellow, and 3 goals for Kiel. certainly one of their best offensive outputs. In fact, the best that they have had here in 2026. But when it's not enough, that's certainly seriously concerning for Freddie Caps. So he'll have plenty to talk about before they have a home and away game against Schalke over the next couple of weeks. But Dortmund will be off next week, and they'll be very, very happy to take 3 points back with them as they go to 10 points and very much in contention for going to the next round of play in U19. So that will do it for us from Kiel one last time. Dortmund, your winners, doubling up Kiel 6-3. Hope you had as much fun as we did, bringing you more U19 football. And until we meet again, my friends, it has been an absolute pleasure. And just to let you know, no river asked for permission to find the ocean. I'm Kai Dombach signing off from Kiel. Dortmund will have a very happy trip home, putting up 6 goals here on the road.
Alleine mitfahren. Du durften doch gestern noch Holstein Kiel U um 1 Uhr.